what's happening in the sugar space? Let's try and understand that better with Mr. Atul Chaturvedi. He's the Executive Chairman at Shree Renuka Sugars as well. Mr. Chaturvedi, thank you so much for making time and speaking with us. Well, there is these reports that we are reading about lower production estimates from Maharashtra and Karnataka, and that's the reason perhaps why the street is banking that the sugar production might be a bit lower and the export cap will not be revised. Your take as to how the domestic production is likely to be and any expectation of revision in the export cap?
Well, let me share with you that this year the weather gods have played a little truant. First, we had a drought-like situation in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and then subsequently we had a deluge. With the result, what had happened is that the overall percentage or yield per hectare has actually come down in this region, with the result that Maharashtra and both Karnataka, we've suffered big time as far as production losses are concerned. So initially we were looking at a figure of something like 36 million tons as sugar and another 4.5 million tons as diversion towards ethanol. But that doesn't seem to be coming true. And now we are putting a number of about 32.5 million tons as sugar and another 4.5 million tons of sugar diverted towards ethanol. So in sucrose terms, we are now looking at a number of anywhere between 37 and 37.5 million tons. So that is the reason why we are not too gung-ho as far as export quota increase above 6.2 million tons. We don't think, because whether we like it or not, the fact remains that the inflation has still not come down, and most of the decision makers are definitely worried on a discount. So I think whatever we've exported, that should be the end of the story as far as this year is concerned.
Yeah. Right. So anticipating a shortfall in the production, where do you expect prices to go from here on?
Internationally, prices are likely to remain quite firm for the simple reason that most of Asian countries like India, Thailand, Pakistan, even China, the production has suffered from what the initial estimates were. The only silver lining in all this is Brazil, which seems to have a fantastic crop of in excess of about 600 million tons. But there again, there has been a big issue because they also have a fantastic soybean crop. And this year, the soybean is likely to be something like 155, 156 million tons. And coupled with this, Argentinian production of soybeans has come down. So all the pressure as far as shipping is concerned has moved to Brazil. And most of the ports actually prefer soybean to sugar, with the result that sugar is facing logistical nightmares. And the other thing is the wet weather in Brazil, it doesn't seem to be coming to an end. So that is adding to issues in terms of production getting ramped up. In fact, there is some talk that the 600 million tons might not get crushed this year because the season is already getting late. So all these things put together internationally have made sugar very firm. As far as India is concerned, India is a much more regulated market and insulated to what's happening in the world. So we have adequate stocks and there's absolutely no issue. And Indian values will definitely go up in sympathy, but they won't go up to the extent that international markets have moved up. So I'm sure 2-3 rupees a kilo going up would not raise too many eyebrows. And I think government should also be in a position to accept that.
Sure. Sorry to interject, Mr. Chaturvedi, but I just wanted to narrow down the conversation and talk about Shree Renuka also a bit in detail. Could you talk to us about what kind of volume growth you are envisaging in FY24? What kind of top line growth could it mean? Because you are talking about the realizations also trending higher. What's your expectation? And also a lot of capacity addition has happened when it comes to ethanol as well. How's that expected to impact your numbers going forward?
No, definitely. I must share with you that we are in a silent period and it would be very difficult for me to actually discuss numbers. But just to add to what you've already said, in fact, even this year, our numbers in terms of production going up of ethanol, in terms of exports going up, could be in the region of anything between 20 to 25% compared to what it was last year. So our ethanol capacity, or rather utilization, has improved this year. And our expanded capacity has also now been commissioned and is now in the public domain. And next year, we expect the full advantage of the expanded capacity of ethanol. So I wouldn't be too surprised if next year again we have a 25 to 30% increase in terms of our ethanol production as well as sales. So that, and our exports continues to be robust because we have this refinery at Kandla where we have this, we import sugar under advance licenses and then export. So that continues to be on a strong wicket, and we're running at almost more than 100% capacity utilization as of today. So even in terms of revenues, I think this year also our revenues are going to be much higher than what it was last year.
Right. So I can understand you cannot talk much as you are in the silent period, but can you just tell us, over the last 3-4 years, there has been a lot of repair as far as, the company is concerned, company's balance sheet is concerned. You've added a lot of capacity, as you're saying that prices are expected to be firm. So, do you think that the base has been set that if sugar demand continues to be strong, this time the company will exploit and gain market share?
Oh, I'm sure. In fact, we have a brand called Madhur, which happens to be the market leader in the country. In fact, in the packaged sugar segment, Madhur controls almost something like 32% of India's packed sugar sales. So as a company, as a group, we are focused on expanding the Madhur, expanding our ethanol, and expanding our footprints across the country. And you are right when you said that we had a lot of legacy issues, which I think in the last 3-4 years we managed to bring them down to a very great extent. And I think it's a much stronger company now than what it was way back in 2018 when Wilmar took over the reins, and when I also got pitchforked into the hot seat here.
Sure, Mr. Chaturvedi, we won't put you in the hot seat anymore. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about the sector and as much as you could in the silent period for Renuka Sugars. Appreciate your time today.